Well, now that modding on Nintendo Wii is all done and dusted, it's on to seeing what's next. Huh. Cleaning a fat PS2. Well, after all, that is a lot easier than modding a Wii. It should take, what, maybe an hour, two at most? But of course, that all depends on the condition it's in before we start working on it. So I guess, better take a look at what we're in for. Huh. That's strange. It's almost like a brand new PS2. I wonder what was wrong with it for them to need to send it in for cleaning. Oh. This video's featured comment is brought to you by AGGC7451, who said, "I absolutely love the Video Game O.R. videos, they are always great. Thanks for your support, as these episodes can be quite tricky to make sometimes. So be sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below for a chance for it to be featured in a future episode of Video Game O.R. Now, on to the video." Hello and welcome back to the Video Game O.R., the series where we show you the process in repairing and restoring all things gaming. Today we're going to take this nasty $25 Goodwill PS2 and give it a bit of a deep clean. So without any further ado, let's begin the procedure. First things first, you'll need to flip the console over and remove the 8 covers hiding those sweet little screws. And then using a Phillips head screwdriver, remove the 8 screws on the underside of the console. Follow that up by taking out the expansion bay cover and cutting that out-of-date warranty sticker. With that prep all done, carefully remove the top shell starting from the back to clear the disk drive and ribbon cable at the front for the power and eject switches. To remove the set of switches, pull the back of the plastic plate for the buttons up and to the left in order to clear the tabs on the top shell and remove the switches from their holes. From there, remove the 2 screws holding down the controller ports, followed by the 2 holding down the plate for the cooling fan and power switch. With those screws removed, you should be able to separate the whole internal assembly from the bottom half of the shell. Damn, this is one dusty mofo in need of a blowy. First, we'll need to remove the plastic plate in the back holding the fan and power switch. They should both easily pop out by pressing the bottoms. This marks the last of the plastic parts, which can all be cleaned with a good toothbrush and some soapy water. And as for the internals, if you suffer from subpar blowing skills, no need to worry, as the problem areas can easily be touched up with a Q-tip dipped in some IPA or an alcohol wipe. With the casing all cleaned and dried, it's on to the reassembly. First, let's start with putting the guts back into the bottom shell. It should just pop in there if it's inserted in the correct orientation. Follow that up with the fan and power panel. The power switch is pretty straightforward, however the fan can be a bit fiddly. Just make sure the arrows on the top are facing out and to the right. Then carefully insert it into the top of the panel, as you wouldn't want to run the risk of causing damage to the connectors from the fan to the motherboard. Then secure the panel in place with 2 of the 4 short Phillips head screws. Use the remaining screws to secure the controller ports in place at the front. With those attached, it's on to putting the power and eject buttons back in their place. Make sure the ribbon cable runs under the panel, touching the exterior of the top shell. Then slot the 2 buttons into the cutout and move the rig to the right to snap the assembly into place. Next, fold over the top shell to meet the bottom, making sure to slide the front of the DVD drive into its respective cutout. Then press the 2 halves together. Go ahead and secure the 2 halves together using the screws. The 6 long ones go into the bottom, while the 2 shorter ones go into the side. Then cover those babies up with the rubber and plastic covers. Rubber on the bottom 4 corners and plastic in the middle and side. Lastly, go ahead and snap the expansion bay cover back on. Congratulations, as you have now successfully deep cleaned an otherwise dusty, dirty, and somewhat sticky fat PS2. So if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like and subscribe so that you don't miss anything new from the Video Game O.R. Also, feel free to leave a comment on what you want to see covered for a chance for it to be featured in the next episode. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.